Let's talk about the Alex Murdaugh case, because this case is everywhere. I'm a big fan of true crime podcasts and shows, and they have hit this case. I mean, it must be 25 times between Dateline and 2020 and 48 Hours, all of them, like all of them. So people are into this case. Guy down in South Carolina from a long line of legal scholars and successful prosecutors, though this guy was, to put it charitably, the runt of the litter, didn't have anything close to the career that his dad and his granddad and the other guy had above him. And they first run into trouble when his son has this terrible boat accident. His son Paul has this terrible boat accident, and the son Paul is reportedly blotto, drunk, and hits a piling, and a young girl named Mallory goes flying, dies on impact, 19 years old, terrible. So he's facing at least a civil case, Paul Murdaugh was, as a result of that. And then Alex Murdaugh, next thing we know, he gets into some financial trouble at his law firm, which would later result in him being disbarred. And the next thing we know, his wife and that son, Paul, are shot to death and murdered on his property. And he says, I was over visiting my mom, didn't have anything to do with it, but I did find the bodies and I called 911. So far, do we agree that's the basic outline of the facts?
That's what's being alleged, yeah.
Okay. And then, by the way, he had another run-in with a gun where somebody allegedly tried to shoot him, this Alex Murdaugh, on the side of the road, but he later reportedly confessed. He put the guy up to it. That was a whole scheme. He claims to get insurance money to his remaining son. Who knows? It was probably going to go to his own pocket, if you know anything about this guy's character. It doesn't sound very high. He didn't get away with that. And there's a whole other layer to the story with a housekeeper, and so we could keep going. But let's stick with what's happening now. He's on trial now for what exactly, Mark?
Well, he's facing murder charges. He's got 100 and something different charges, but what he's on trial right now for is, did he kill his own son and his wife? That's the issue. And, defense lawyers are saying the reason why we think it might have been someone else is because it's payback because his son killed someone 2 years ago in a boating accident. Boy, that's thin. I know Arthur wouldn't run with that. No way. It's better than that.
Look, what they're saying is, what he said in the opening statement is, there's no video, there's no fingerprints, there's no forensics, there's no blood. It was two separate weapons that we used, one to kill the son first and one to kill the wife second. And so, who would go in? So they're saying it's two people. It wasn't one person. If one person was going to kill these people, they would use the same weapon. You don't switch weapons midway. He has an alibi that he was at his mom's house. Now, his mom has Alzheimer's, so I don't know if she could even be a witness. The defense has something to go on. Unlike the case we just spoke of, when everything's on video, here there's no video, there's no confession, there's no admission.
There are some forensics, though. There are. I don't necessarily agree.
There's that one high-end thing that says on one of his T-shirts there may have been some blood or something like that.
Wait, let's set it up. Let's set it up before we do that. So they, of course, if he committed this brutal murder of his son and his wife, with whom he was said to have a bad relationship, though the defense is denying that, his wife, and he blew them up, with a shotgun, there'd be blood on him. There would be blood on him, and there wasn't. There's a dispute about it, but he was not covered in blood, that's for sure. And now the prosecution's saying there was trace blood on this white T-shirt they had tested just this morning. Literally, the case opened on Friday, so we're on day 2. Just this morning, the cross-examination of the witness who said, we tested that T-shirt and we found trace blood, that witness admitted that those same positive tests could also indicate rust or bleach. So the defense attorney did a good job poking some holes, and there was blood in the T-shirt. The defense's lawyer is saying, where would the blood be? Where's the blood? If my guy did it, why does he have this perfectly white T-shirt? Mark, go ahead.
Okay, it does come down to the science first and foremost. As long as the defense can create a reasonable doubt as to whether that's blood and whether that's the blood that would have come from him shooting, as long as they neutralize it, then the jurors cannot decide on that issue. Then it comes down to the other stuff. And again, there's no busload of nuns who saw him do it. But again, the question is, and while prosecutors don't have to prove motive, still, jurors want to know, well, why would he do it? What's this
But Mark,
about?
don't they have a motive? Like, don't they have a motive? I don't know if the judge is going to let it in, but he just got caught stealing $8 million from clients and from his lawyers in his own law firm, including his own brother. And he had just gotten busted. They had just confronted him
that day.
And so,
right.
And so,
well, his whole thing.
How does killing his son benefit him?
So the prosecutor says, killing his son benefits him. It gives him the ultimate sympathy, the ultimate, let's cut our law partner a break because his kid and his wife were just executed. And if we just
that is a reach. Oh my goodness.
Well, he's a lunatic. Okay. If he killed his family, he's a lunatic.
Right.
By the way, if you steal $8.8 million from your clients and your partners, you're also a lunatic. Maybe a different kind
Michael
of
Avenatti.
But you're also.
What do the jurors know? Are they throwing in the kitchen sink? Are they throwing in charges that are not for their consideration? Will that be allowed? If that's the case, that's one thing, and it'll grossly prejudice his murder trial. If that's allowed in, then you go, oh, that's right. He is not in his right frame of mind. He would do something this horrific. But to just garner sympathy, I'm going to take out my wife and my kid, that's thin. That's a horrible motive.
I don't know if that's coming in. Is that coming in, Arthur? Do we know whether that's coming in for motive?
It'll be up to the judge's discretion. But I think the prosecutor opened on it. So if the judge allowed the prosecutor to open on it, then the judge is letting it in. If we go back to the blood for a second, the flip side of the coin about him not having blood on him is he tells the paramedics or the 911 caller, I checked for a pulse on both of them. And they're both covered. I mean, his son's head is blown off. They said there was blood dripping from the ceiling. If they're saying if he really tested them or put his hands on them to check their pulse, he's going to have some blood on him. So the fact that he doesn't have any blood on him means he didn't check it.
However, first of all, we are hearing that there was blood on his shirt, assuming the jurors buy that it's blood and not, barbecue sauce.
His fingers, his hands.
But there's a difference between blood that's soaked on a white shirt that would be consistent with leaning over someone and getting that type of transfer, and then little bits and splatter that you would expect from someone who shoots someone with a shotgun. They should easily be able to discern what the difference is.
If he did it, if he committed this crime, there was some garment he should have been wearing that would be covered in blood, right? I mean, I don't know how close they're saying it would have to be, but it doesn't. They're not alleging he was across
isn't there like a
yes, gunshot. There is gunshot. Talk about that. The trench coat back at his mommy's house where he ran.
Right. To me, that's huge. Arthur was saying that the defense is saying there's no forensics. To me,
but there's no blood on it.
On a jacket of some sort, like a trench coat or whatever, that he left at his mother's place, the exact place that he's claiming he went to, and that he was there. That's his alibi. Well, that's huge. How do you explain that?
Well, where's the blood? If he's wearing that trench coat when he committed these alleged crimes, Arthur, wouldn't it have blood on it?
You would assume so, but Megyn, my understanding is they only recovered one of the two weapons. So wherever weapon,
I don't think they have either weapon. I don't think they found either weapon. They believe they know what the one weapon was because it matches ammo all over the Murdaugh property, and they were able to say this like to make the link. But I don't think they have either gun.
Okay, maybe I'm misinformed, but my thinking is he got rid of probably the second weapon he used, and those clothes, he got rid of those as well. I mean, it's not that hard to change your clothes. There's like a long gap between when the autopsy was conducted, where the medical examiner says they died, and when he actually calls 911, plenty of time to destroy some clothes and clean up.
Like many people, I am trying to eat healthier, and that is why I love good olive oil. And by good, I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and the healthiest nutrients when it's fresh from the farm. That's the problem with the supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months, growing stale. I just had this experience. Okay, stand by. I'm going to tell you about it. This is why I like my olive oil direct from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a guy named TJ Robinson, also known as the olive oil hunter. This stuff is amazing. When I first tasted TJ's Farm Fresh oils, I fell in love with their amazing, vibrant flavors. They are delicious on everything that you use olive oils for: salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. Now, I use olive oil. I make my own little salad dressing. You know I can't cook, but I make my own little salad dressing just because I don't want all the hateful eight in my dressing. And the one thing you have to have is good olive oil. Well, I ran out of TJ's. And so you know what I did? It's Harvest Fresh now. But you know what I did? I bought from the supermarket. And what else was I going to do? Couldn't like call TJ. I don't know him just because he advertises here. And I could taste the difference. And not only that, my kids asked, did you do something different on the salad? I was like, no, I'm telling you, there is a difference when it's fresh pressed. And that is why TJ created the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, which I clearly have fallen behind in and need to get on. And you should too. Thanks to this, and as an introduction to this club, TJ is going to send you a full-size $39 bottle worth of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils for just $1 to help him cover shipping. See if you taste the difference. And best of all, there's never a commitment to buy anything, and you can cancel your membership at any time. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 shipping and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to harvestfreshnow.com. harvestfreshnow.com for a free bottle and pay just that $1 in shipping. harvestfreshnow.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.